Hello everybody and welcome back. Today I am doing my TBR for the 24 and 48 readathon. I ran across this when I was watching some videos from Joce over Schools Reads and Michelle's channels the other day, and I thought that it sounded like fun. So basically the 24 and 48 hour readathon is taking Saturday and Sunday from 12:01 a.m. Saturday morning until 11:59 p.m. Sunday night, and reading for 24 hours, or as close to 24 hours as you can get within that time period. I just really like this idea because, I don't know, it seems fun and it's a better idea than staying up for 24 hours straight, because that would just end horribly. Anyway, I am being slightly ambitious for those 24 hours, so here are the books that I want to read. The first one is a reread, and that is Dealing with Dragons by Patricia C. Reed. As I've said before, this is the book that got me into fantasy, and if I have time I'd like to reread the whole series, but rereading the whole series is a plan for 2018 anyway. This follows a young princess, Cimarine, and she decides she's just going to blow off her family's plans for her and go and apprentice herself, basically, to a dragon. She does. There are wizards and magic and dragons and hijinks. It's fantastic. Next up is A Shadow Bright and Burning by Jessica Cluess. To be very honest, I don't remember what this one is about, but I think the cover is beautiful and I bought it probably 2 years ago. It's also a YA fantasy, so it shouldn't take me long, but I'm excited to finally get to it. Number 3 is The Glass Spare by Lauren DeStefano. This follows a young girl who has the ability to turn people and things into gems with a touch. Basically, it's a gemstone version of the Midas touch. I'm also very excited to read this one simply because it came out relatively recently, a couple of months ago, and I haven't gotten to it yet, but a 24-hour readathon seems like a good time. And the last YA fantasy is Jane Unlimited by Kristin Cashore. As I've said before, Kristin Cashore is one of my all-time favorite authors because of Graceling. This book, Jane Unlimited, came out fairly recently, actually, I think maybe October-ish, and the cover is just so much fun. It's very holographic, and also it sounds good. Jane is invited to an island where strange things happen and nobody really knows what's going on. Basically, she's there to have fun and maybe figure out what's going on this island. Then I would like to read Iron Gold by Pierce Brown. This is the 4th in the Red Rising saga. I loved the trilogy. Red Rising, the first one, was slow for me. It didn't catch me all that much, but my friend Katie insisted that it got better, so I continued, and boy howdy did it. So, since this one came out January 16th actually, I'm very excited to read it and figure out what's going on with Darrow and friends. Then we get into a not-so-fun one, which is Closing the Circle, Environmental Justice in Indian Country by James Grijalva. This book is actually the textbook for my Environmental Law in Indian Country class this semester with Professor Grijalva. I am not necessarily super excited to read this book, although it is interesting. I just want to get ahead in this book, and a 24-hour readathon seems like a good time to do it, even if I just take 2 or 3 hours and get through it. Also, it's not that long, it's 200 pages, so maybe, theoretically, I can get this whole book done during this weekend. And then the last book I want to read is Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race by Rennie Edo-Lodge. I took the dust jacket off this because I am currently reading it, and so far I'm really enjoying it, but this one is also about 200 pages. It's a non-fiction about racism in Great Britain. I'm excited to read this one because I find Great Britain's history fascinating, and I don't know that much about eras outside of the 1500s, maybe early 1600s. So this book ought to be very exciting to learn about that and about modern Britain and how they're dealing with racism. Like I said, this is a bit of an ambitious TBR for 24 hours, but I'm gonna go for it and see how much I get done. That said, those are all the books I want to read for this. I will update you after the readathon and we'll see how many of these I get through. I will see you soon in my next video. Bye!